My name is Marva Keys Morris, and I am the CEO of Premier Manufacturing LLC. Premier Manufacturing LLC is a company that makes beverages. We make one particular product called Zenedge. Zenedge is a healthier, better for you brand of energy drink. And so since my company's name is Premier Manufacturing, I thought it would be good to start off with showing my product being made at the facility. And that's the light which I've really seen same for the year. Absolutely. It's so that's not like I'm super good. It's good. What? Good food. Balance. Thank you for indulging me in that. Okay, let me try to get back here. Okay. So, my company's name, as you know, is Zenedge Energy Drinks, and our slogan is "It's what's inside that counts." I'm not going to go through each and every slide here, but I do want you to know a little bit about how the company came about and what I do as the CEO of the company. So it started out basically as an idea between a broker who I knew from years ago who offered me an opportunity to work with me on acquiring Zenedge. Now, I didn't have the money to buy Zenedge. It was started by some guys in New York City, two brothers and another friend. And this was around the time when Red Bull first came out and there was too much caffeine in products. So what they were doing, they wanted to create a company that did not have all of the high caffeine. So since I acquired the company with my partner, Tim McQuaid, who later passed away, we created 6 new products. And as you can see here, these are the 6 products that we created. All of them are made in the United States. And here they are, a mountain of greatness. So as I was explaining to you, it was around 2008, actually, when the acquisition I came to my attention. And then it was around 2009 that it actually happened. And so I was not the majority shareholder of the business. I was a partner amongst three other partners. And so, but later on, I became the face of the business. And so now we're on the path to success. So what was our mission? To try to create a company that would socially align itself with what the needs were, in the community and the world, which was less caffeine in the energy drink world. And also we wanted to create partnerships, with other types of organizations that do distribution and DSV. So my product is part of what they call the functional beverage industry. And so it's been on the upside ever since the industry got started. In fact, it's expected to grow about 8% a year. It's on a very strong trajectory in terms of growth, unlike sodas, which have been on a downturn. So why do consumers want to choose Zenedge? One of the things is that we have a better taste. We trademarked all of our packaging and the name. It's a nutritional supplement. So you can actually, it has vitamins and it has a nutritional label on it as well. The low caffeine, the healthy formula. This is just a breakdown of all the different things. But how we compare to other products is that our product is, we're the first or second in terms of sugars and caffeine or carbs, which really makes us very competitive. These are some of the stores we have been in or we are in. Right now, we're in Walmart. We're also on Walmart in-store as well as Walmart online. So I'm not going to get into all the marketing and all of that. That's basically information that bore you to tears, but I just wanted you to see who we are and, what we do. So one of the testimonials that our product has been given is that it's not only has great flavor, and most of you who drink energy drinks know they usually don't taste good. So one of the things is that they like the fact that it has good flavor. But part of my reason for being a part of Jefferson is because I also want to give back. One of the things that we've done with this organization from the very early on, we've worked with nonprofits. We've supported young female entrepreneurs. A lot of people come to me and ask me, well, how do I do this? If you notice, there's been an influx and growth of women-owned businesses in the beverage. And I think I was one of the first in this community. So I have over 12 years of experience doing this now, and I'm not trying to partner with you, but this is my slide. But I just want you to know that a little bit about our company. And thank you.
Jam.
Oh, should I close this?
No.
Oh.
Yes.
All right. Good evening, everyone. How are all of you today?
Great.
Everyone's not answering. All right. I was actually looking for sweet. It's my favorite slogan. So anyways, my name is Mabel Howard. I'm the owner of Café 710. We're a small dessert and coffee shop located in the heart of downtown Erie, PA. Cafe 710 was actually inspired by my mom, and a lot of people actually don't know that. So 7 West 10th Street is our address in downtown Erie, and a lot of people think that's the reason that we came up with the name. But 710 is actually my mom's birthday, and that's the real reason for Cafe 710. So throughout my life, obviously, I've been watching my mom, and I learned that she had a passion for baking and also cooking for larger crowds. And myself, I spend most of my downtime in coffee shops and bookstores. So I wanted to come up with a way that I could hang out with my mom. She could hang out with me, kind of be agitated, and also make a little bit of money. So I wanted to do something special for my mom's birthday, and that was the birth of Cafe 710, a gift to my mom for her birthday. So when we originally started our cafe in downtown Erie, we just started off with a little banner inside of our window, and a tagline. It said Cafe 710, and then it said her birthday, because I wanted each person that came into the cafe to ask the question, who is she? And I wanted my mom to be able to tell the story of the love that her child had for her. So, what's next here? We are on the move. Cafe 710 now, 5 years later. We have 2 different locations. Has anyone been to our locations? Has anyone heard of Cafe 710? Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Okay. So our second location is in the lobby of the Erie County Public Library. And our first location is currently under construction. So prayerfully, we will be open mid-September. Can everyone hear me okay? The Erie County Public Library, right in the lobby next to the Friends. You're welcome. And obviously, we want everyone to shop as often as your tummy can take, or treat everyone else that you know to wonderful desserts. So I'm not going to be very long with you today. I don't want to do a long presentation and then repeat some of that stuff during our panel discussion. With that in mind, I'm going to pass out a few business cards and ask that maybe 3 people that have had our desserts, if you'd be willing to give a testimony in-house. Jacob?
You know, they're wonderful. I'm using catering for friends. It's fantastic. If your mother's great job baking, it's always top.
Thank you, Jacob. Anyone else? Oh, Jacob, can you come up here? Sorry. I don't mean to put you guys to work.
No problem. It's wonderful. It's wonderful food. It's deliciously baked goods. There's always a great variety as well. And Mabel's mother does a fantastic job baking, and everything always tastes fresh and delicious. And I just got catering for one of our board meetings last week, and I looked in my fridge and I had a little bit of the coffee cake left, and it was still good a week later. So I highly recommend it.
Thank you, Jacob. All right. We have gifts. Art?
Yes, and I've been to the cafe many times in the past because we had a movie club that critiqued in movies, and we got together, probably 10 or 12 of us, and we always enjoyed the space and the friendship, the love, and the food.
Yay, that's so awesome. That's the atmosphere we're looking to create in a larger setting, so please come back with your gatherings.
Well, did you want to go and then? I love the peach cobbler. It brings me nostalgia from when my grandmother used to make it. So that's one of my favorite things to get at Cafe 710.
Thank you, Kyra. Awesome, awesome, awesome.
And I love just about everything there, but my favorite is the brownies, of which Mabel is aware. And when she's been at other venues, I always make sure I hit the brownies first. And I love the conversations that take place at the cafe, too. So it's not even just eating the great sweets.
Yeah.
So thank you all for sharing those testimonies. It's great to see people in the audience that you're familiar with, and we're happy that you want to see us continue on. The one thing I want to express right now, in case it does not come up later, is I'm so grateful to actually live in the city of Erie. So the reason why, so COVID-19, Café 710 opened right before COVID-19, and we really never saw that kind of love from the community until that period of time. I can say that it's the farmers markets that actually kept our business open, and that's something I would totally not ever sign up for. But it's what kept our doors open. We were able to meet a variety of people that may not frequent downtown Erie. They were able to try our products, and then at that point in time, people would order, and we would walk out and put it in their trunk because it was contactless everything. And each person, because they wanted to help keep our doors open, they would order for other people and have us just deliver as a gift, like any way the community could help us. Like they wanted to see us keep our doors open. So that means a lot to me. So I wanted to close with saying I'm grateful to be in Erie, to feel the love of the people that live in Erie, and to know in our hearts that small businesses are supported. That's a wonderful feeling. So thank you.
Oh, I get all the light. So I have had a day, right? And so to be here with these two amazing women and to have a Zenedge Energy Drink that I am almost done with has given me that little boost of energy that I need today. So I'm going to put this right here, and I'm going to be drinking from it frequently. So I am Kyra Taylor. I'm the executive director and a co-founder of the organization Erie's Black Wall Street. We were formed in 2018 as just a way to connect to Erie's Black community because most of us were not from here. So we wanted to know where were the Black events, where were the Black business owners, and how we could support them. And so when we found that there was nothing like that here, we said, well, we're just going to create it. And so that's the kind of atmosphere that we surround ourselves in at Erie's Black Wall Street. If it's not being done, we're going to figure out a way to do it. So Erie's Black Wall Street focuses on a few different things, and I'm going to leave entrepreneurship for last because it is one of the things that we focus on, but not the sole thing that we focus on. So we really focus on community building, restoring hope back into our community, creating unity within our community. And so everything that we do has that at the root of everything. So first, I'd like to talk about our financial education program. We got into that because in 2019, the statistics came out about Erie being the worst place for Black people to live, as well as having the poorest zip code. And so we had a lot of discussions in what just started as a Facebook group of why these things are and what needs to happen for us not to make that list again. And so from that, we said, okay, financial education. We want to make sure that people are making smart decisions with their money, but also it comes down to what relationship do they have with money? A lot of times in our community, we're not taught about financial education at a younger age. And so we want to make sure that people are getting the building blocks and the tools necessary to teach their children and other family members. The next thing that we do is we have our Pathway to Homeownership program. That was one of the other reasons why Erie was voted, had the statistic of being the worst place for Black people to live, because the home ownership rate amongst Black people here was only 1.9%, while our white brothers and sisters were at 96.8%. So numbers don't lie. And so that's a real problem. And so we said, hey, we're going to do something about that problem. And so that birthed our Pathway to Home Ownership series. And with that particular program, in the month of January, we have 4 sessions that are 2 hours each. And a person has to come to all 4 of those sessions. They learn everything they need to know about purchasing a home, but also what do you need to know about after you get that home? What do you need to be expecting? And so we have 3 people talk about finances throughout that workshop series. So if a person completes all 4 sessions and they meet our very basic requirement, we also do require a personal statement now. Their names get entered into a drawing to win money towards the down payment of a home. And so in 2021, this is when our program first launched. We actually became a nonprofit in 2020 in the midst of the pandemic. And so that program, that year, we gave 2 people $5,000 each towards the purchase of a home. Both of those people still have their homes today. And I actually just saw one at the Blues and Jazz Fest this past weekend. That number grew. So the next year, I believe we were looking at 3 people for $5,000 each towards a home. And then last year, we gave $7,000 to 3 different people towards the purchase of a home. This year, because of Erie Gives Day, for this year's, because of Erie Gives Day last year, we actually got a sizable donation to give people more money towards the purchase of a home. Because while $5,000 is okay, while $7,000 is okay, it's not quite doing what it needs to do. There's still that burden. There's still that barrier to home ownership because of the rising costs of everything. And so they said, give more money. And we are so lucky because this year we were able to give 5 people $10,000 each towards the purchase of a home. And 2 of those people have already purchased homes, and the other 3 are currently in the market looking for homes right now. And so by the end of this year, if everybody purchases their home, we'll have made 12 homeowners since 2021. Thank you. Thank you. We do community building events, and like I said, community is at the root of everything. So we want to make sure that Black people have access to resources, access to information, and access to experiences. So we've had partnerships with the Erie Otters, and that was a wonderful thing where we had a jersey contest. We had what we called Black Ice Night. We invited different Black-owned vendors to the concourse, and they were able to sell their stuff, and a lot of them were able to have bigger sales than they've had at a lot of different events. That evening as well, we had 50 tickets that we just gave away to youth, and 90% of the youth that received those tickets had never been to the Otters games, and 70% of them had never been to the Erie Insurance Arena. And so we have created hockey lovers from those games, and we've done, I think, 4 games with them to date, 3 or 4 games with them to date, and it's a wonderful experience, allowing people to have an experience that they've never been in before, and seeing that just because I'm Black does not mean that I am not worthy of experiencing things or being in certain spaces. We have community days where we partner with, like for Juneteenth, we have our cinema cocktails and conversations, and that's where we dissect movies. So a lot of these things you can actually check out on our YouTube channel. It's pretty in-depth thanks to Revox Media. And so the last thing that I wanted to get to before I get to interview these amazing women is what we do for entrepreneurs. So Erie's Black Wall Street is often thought of as strictly for business because of the name, not knowing that it has an ode to the Black Wall Street in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and what happened there. And so with entrepreneurship here, we saw that there wasn't any online system to be able to find Black-owned businesses. And so we had created an app that took me all summer to do. But I created an app, and it's called Erie's Black Wall Street. You can get it on Android or iOS. And in that app, you have a directory of all Black-owned businesses in Erie County. Now, it is not a comprehensive list, but it's about 200. And a lot of people don't know that we even have this many Black-owned businesses here because they don't have brick and mortar shops, or they're not able to advertise and get that marketing that a lot of other businesses get. And so within that Facebook group that we originally created with just starting with 20 of our friends, now that has grown to around 2,000 people. And so business owners are able to post whatever they have for sale that week, or any specials or any events that they're having, and really able to connect with their customers. If somebody is in search of body oils or anything else, they simply type it in the group and people comment. And so they're able to make those connections. Another thing that we do for business owners is make sure they have access to resources and information. So in 2020, when we first began, we had a listening session for Black and minority business owners through the chamber. And what we found that was people didn't have access to information, and a lot of businesses were having to scramble and not be able to get the PPP loans because they didn't find out about it until it was too late. And so we vowed never to allow that to happen again on our watch. And so anytime there's any information that we receive, we immediately pass it out via that group, or even I'll send personal emails to folks to make sure that they know what resources are available in our community. So we wanted to do something else for business owners. There are different cohort programs around here, and there's different business development programs for people here in Erie County. However, there aren't any that really take into account the Black experience or the minority experience. And so we wanted to create a program that is a business development meets a think tank meets a accelerator, and make sure that business owners were able to push themselves forward with all of the knowledge and education that they need. And so that is called our Vanguard Erie program. So actually Miss Mabel's in it for another business that she started. But we have two different tracks. So one track is a cohort model, and the other is just individualized. So one of the successes, I guess, that I can talk about now is that we had Kay's Nails, which is actually located now on 419 State Street. She was in a very small place before. We've been talking to her and mentoring her over a year about what she aspires to do with her business, how she wants to grow it. We've been talking to her about marketing, as well as adding employees and raising her prices and to match her work and to match her worth. And so a year later, we have realized that with a move through a partnership with the EDDC to downtown. She's in a bigger space. She's now ready to take on more clients, but also to have employees. So we did her grand opening for her as well. And so we really want business owners to know that they are heard, that they are supported, and that we're going to be there through this all with them. Entrepreneurship does not need to be lonely, and oftentimes it is. We also make sure that there are access to opportunities for business owners. So this past weekend, we had the Erie Blues and Jazz Fest. And so through conversations and collaborations with the festival, we were able to have Erie's Black Wall Street Lane. And we had about 14 vendors signed up for it. And we had a cove at the festival where it was all Black-owned businesses, and they were able to showcase their business. And it was a wonderful thing because a lot of people gained new clientele who would have never seen them otherwise. And so that is one of the main things we're trying to do for Black businesses and minority businesses here in Erie County. So I thank you guys for listening to my spiel about Erie's Black Wall Street, but what I'm most excited about is being able to ask some questions of these ladies. I told them that this is literally going to be a conversation because I want to know more about them, even though I've known them for quite some time now. It's some stuff that we haven't talked about before, so I'll just get us started. I like to rip off the Band-Aid, so I always go challenges first, happy stuff later. All right. So if you want to turn that way, and we'll chat. So what were some of the challenges you faced throughout your entrepreneurial journey, and how did you overcome them?
Well, let's see. I think one of the biggest challenges that I've had this isn't the only venture I've been in, but as an entrepreneur, is scaling. Whenever I wanted to grow the business beyond where I was at, it was difficult for me to find the resources to scale it. Even though I had a track record of what I was doing or am doing, like right now, I'm in Walmart. I'm in 100 Walmart stores, and that was so difficult to do because I was scaling. And to scale, number one, you need finances. Number two, you need resources. Like with, for example, I did not have my warehousing set up in Florida, which is where we are. We're in South Florida. And trying to find people that I could trust with my inventory in Florida was a challenge because I'm not anywhere near Florida. But I also don't know anybody in the Florida area where the product is in. We're in the west coast of Florida, and we're also in some central parts and also coastline cities. So that's just a couple of things that I've had difficulty with, is trying to grow.
What about you, Mabel?
So I know I talked about it earlier, but I would say COVID-19 was absolutely the largest obstacle to overcome. And although it has been, since we're still not all the way out of that, the largest obstacle, what's beautiful about that is if you made it through and have your doors still open. Right now, I feel as if, you can truly move mountains because you've already shifted them to keep your doors open.
So, Marva, you talked about having capital. And so access to capital is often a significant hurdle for many entrepreneurs, but especially being a Black entrepreneur, we have a little bit more hurdles to jump through. So how have you navigated the financial challenges, and what advice would you give to other people facing that same type of issue?
Well, Kyra, you mentioned home ownership being a pathway for people. And when I came back home, this is my hometown, but I was gone for a while, I bought a house. And I refinanced that house for my business 2 times. That was one of the things I did. The second thing that I did was I was able to, rely on friends and family to help me in a lot of respects. And I think the third thing, trying to access credit in the banking institutions is very difficult for a small business. I can't remember all the 5 C's. It's cash, collateral, credit, but all the different things that the benchmarks that you have to meet in order to get bank financing is quite difficult for a small business, and especially minority businesses.
Mm-hmm. So you talked about support systems. Can you both talk about the support systems that have been crucial in your entrepreneurial journey? Like, how have mentors, family, and even Erie's Black Wall Street, how have they all played a role in your success?
Should I start?
Sure.
Okay. So I feel like when people believe in you, it's really important not to let them down. So personally, for me, I don't want to let people down, specifically my mom, when it comes to giving her a gift and keeping the doors open. I don't feel like there's an option. I'm kind of taking it a little bit back to the funding part, and then I'll wrap back around to this if that would be okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
So for the funding for Café 710, it was a gift to my mom, so I didn't feel as if I could ask for support or borrow money from anyone if it would truly be a gift from me. So with that in mind, I seeded into the business myself with my own funding and continued to keep the doors open in that capacity. When it comes to support, I'd say friends, family, of course, all the new friends that we met at the farmer's market. That is a really big deal to me, so I'll always reference back to it. And then newer support systems like Erie Black Wall Street. A lot of people don't realize the value of having that relationship. I feel like when you reach out and get a little bit more involved, or you reach out to leadership as like Kyra and Dr. Matthews, you understand that there's a lot more opportunities that they have available to you if you let them know what your problems are. So I feel like once you're vulnerable, I feel like more doors are open for you. And that's what I feel that Erie Black Wall Street has given me directly.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I also want to ditto that about what Black Wall Street has been able to do for me as a small business. Since they came on board, I was just so excited to see. I felt like it was like a revolution in our community, because we had kind of, our Black community, I felt, had kind of gotten flat in terms of any excitement. You know, it's sort of like when you have elections and things like that, and you see something new and the opportunity to get involved with something new, it brings excitement. So the Black Wall Street has brought a lot of excitement, I feel, into the Black community, and has given a lot of people hope when they felt like there was no hope, and they felt like there wasn't an opportunity for them to strive. And I'm one of the community members that have been in a couple of different businesses, but since I've been with Zenedge, Black Wall Street has done a lot to try to help, inviting me to different events, putting me on stage to have a voice so that I could talk about my company and my brand, introducing me to people who I never would have had a chance to meet. Like, we had a woman come here a few months ago, Della Clark, who came to Gannon University. And I know a lot of people, but I didn't know Della. And Della runs a $20 million investment fund. And that's the kind of person I need to meet. So, and Della and I got to know each other. She exchanged numbers with me, and she's been helping me get to the point where I can qualify for her investment fund. I'm not there yet, but that was through Black Wall Street.
Oh, thank you guys for saying such kind things, but your experiences, sometimes we don't get to hear it, and it did make me tear up, which I'm not a softie, but thank you all for that. So I wanted